Invincible Season 3 came out with the first 3 episodes, and man, was it a fucking roller coaster. Mark finally crashing out against Cecil is so fucking great to fucking see, right? We could see our Mark show people why in other universes they fear this motherfucker, especially Mark. So yeah, quite literally, when Mark crashes out, everyone gets scared of him, and it's just the best. It's the best. This season is focusing a lot on Mark after breaking ties with Cecil. This is where Mark finds out he is employing, well, not Mark. This is where Mark finds out that Cecil is employing Sinclair, the dude who made those corpse like animated men, android murder robot motherfuckers, right? And the wannabe Batman guy. I forget his name. I'm trying to think of it. Fuck it. The wannabe Batman, right? Because, you know, he was killing people and so on, right? And basically just like try to leave them in the shadow zone or whatever, right? Mark, understandably, is pissed, confronts Cecil, who, in a way, to control Mark, activates a device that creates a specific frequency, sound, whatever, that completely fucks with Mark, and he tries to fly away to get help from Robot because Cecil implanted some bullshit in his head to try and control Mark. When he does reach the Guardians, Robot stops the frequency. Mark goes ahead and starts killing the animated men, almost basically in the same way Omni-Man was killing the original Guardians, which, honestly, great idea from the animators, the creators. It's just, wow. Just French kiss. I see a lot of people talking about the rights and wrongs of the situation, but point blank, Cecil's fear drove him to drive Mark into this corner of threatening and cutting ties with him. All Mark wanted to do was for these people to face justice, and Cecil was not having it. He would rather repurpose these people, like, you know, repurposing a tool for a different means against their whole agenda, right, of protecting the world. And, you know, yeah, like, this man is blinded by fear because, you know, he treats Mark like Omni-Man, and, you know, that's what he got. He got an Omni-Man level fucking response. So I can't really fault Mark on this. Of course, maybe he should have handled it better, especially when like demanding these people be arrested. But of course, Cecil is not going to see sense. He doesn't give a fuck, right? The Guardians splitting because the older guys who are fine with what Cecil did, or can, I guess, understand his point of view, especially Immortal, who finds anything necessary if the outcome is good, fine, shows how this divides so many people, not even from just a show, but outside of it, just the fans in general, right? It's pretty crazy. It's pretty fun to see, right? Of course, Kate is going to choose her fucking husband. Of course, Cecil will use anyone he can for the situation that calls for them. And it's blinded by what he needs to do for the greater good instead of just point blank just doing good. They even gave us like a Cecil, like, you know, origin story sort of, and, you know, shows us how he got to this mentality. And it, you know, it was nice. It's I don't think it was in the comics at all. But it was really nice to see. And they really also did something really fucking cool. They also kind of went into how the villains would go into a cycle of trying to be better, things going bad, and going ahead and doing crimes and getting caught, and then getting free, doing what they can, trying to change, and then, you know, when things get tough, they go back to doing crime again. So it basically just goes ahead and shows us that not everybody just evil for the sake of being evil. A lot of the times they feel like they have to go ahead and do crimes, use their powers to better their lives, just because, you know, life is kicking them in the ass, right? That's what happened with I forget that dude, like that volcano, Furnace. It was Furnace and the other dude. I think it was like some fire dude and some dude with the stupid fucking confetti controller thing on his fucking stomach, right? That guy. And, you know, I see what they're trying to do. I do think the lava, like, fire dude could definitely just go ahead and, you know, they can go to a secluded, like, area where there's mountains and stuff, and they can just go ahead, and he can just go ahead and just melt a place for them to live, and sort of just, like, fuck, man, I don't know, just, like, minimize their costs, like, you know, get a job, you know, go somewhere where they can go ahead. No, specifically, I don't know why they don't just live somewhere they can use their powers for the greater good, or just point blank go to Cecil, right? Because Cecil's whole thing is repurposing people. So I'm sure Cecil will be like, all right, cool, I can use you guys for low level stuff, pay you what you need, or even just give you a home to just live in, right? It's it's stuff like this that I feel like really does muddy the waters and makes for good conversation. But besides that, in this season, I also do enjoy how they are finally embracing the Mark Eve romance, even if Mark did mention the other Eve, and understandably, pissing off Eve, but they did come together, which is really nice to see. Even Mark's mom is getting back into dating, and it's a nice change of pace for her, as well as seeing Eve, talk with Amber and her talk about her new man, which, if you've seen the comic, oof, oof. But yeah, let's get to Oliver. Oliver in the show does look like to have a childlike ignorance to life, right? In part to being, basically just all alien and from a race where they die within a fucking month or, 2 or 3. While also being super smart, he's not very perceptive. And I think it's really interesting that in the show, this is like childlike ignorance to life. But in the comic, if I remember right, he just point blank doesn't give a fuck, right? He's just like, I'm not human. All these people I don't give a fuck about. Why should I care? And Dad was right. Like, of course, in the show, he was like, yeah, Dad is right. But he had this childlike ignorance to him, right? But in the comic, he just seems like he just didn't give a fuck about human life because he's not human, so he doesn't care. Of course, in the show and in the comic, he is a kid. And Debbie, being an awesome mom, put things in perspective for him, which helps him understand what he did a lot better. How long this will work is still up in the air, but from what I know and read in the comics, it's not going to be for it's not going to be for too long. We didn't get much of Omni-Man and Alan in these 3 episodes, but I know when they do break out and Conquest comes, it's going to be such a crazy fucking 24 hours when it drops. I know Conquest will be here. Eventually, Mark will face, I think his name is Powerplex. I think that's what his name is. Dude hates Invincible and uses his family to lure him into a trap. But when trying to kill Invincible, he accidentally fries his son and wife. So, Jesus, right? It's fucked up, but it was the dude's fault because he went ahead and brought them into the situation. He brought them, if I remember right, this was in a fucking sewer, and went ahead and started using his electrical powers to go ahead and shoot and kill Invincible. But with all that energy being flown around because of obviously electricity, it went ahead and fried his family, which is just fucked, just honestly fucked up. I don't know if they're gonna do like the clone shit this season. Who knows? And we are super close to full on Cecil death. So I'm really enjoying this season with everything that's happening so far in this season. It just like everything is so fucking fat with content and just amazing and just great. Like everything going on is just great. Like all types of development, which is really nice to see. And Mark's new suit, I've always loved that goddamn suit, like the blue and black. Just like he said, like it's like very serious, but that complements how the show is getting into. That complements his growth into a more serious, more adult, mature person, which is really nice to see. I'm not going to lie, seeing Mark crash out is probably the best thing about the show. Although I do see people's points about the animation. Let's let's talk a little bit about the animation. They told us already that they would go ahead and bring the show to us more often than not, but don't expect too much of the animation in this case, right? I've seen TikToks going after the animation itself. Yes, it's not the best, but it's already a simplistic art style. So I personally think it's not as bad as, I don't know, the fucking 7 Deadly Sins animation for I think season 3 or 4. Jesus Christ, I don't want to be reminded of that shit. But I will say that the animation does pop off when need be. That's how the Invincible show has always been. Like it's always been like a simplistic animation when it's just day in the life of Mark. But when there's blood, gore, all types of shit going on, that's where the animation truly shines. I will say that when Mark goes ahead and kills all those animen, whatever the fuck, Like the animation did pop off. Like he was going fucking crazy. It was incredibly fun to watch that fight. The show has always saved its budget for like the bloodier, gorier fights, in my opinion. I would love for the animation to overall just get fucking better, and it's just trying to emulate a comic book style. A comic book style. I don't even remember if I fucking went ahead and said comic book right in that first take, but yeah, they're trying to emulate that style from the fucking 2000s, right? It's not going to be pretty, just overall, but they're doing what they can just to make sure that it fits with the comic, right? Which I'm fine with. Either way, I'm happy with how the episodes turned out, especially like the plot, the action, and overall these episodes were fucking fat, fucking good, just great fucking stuff, right? Seeing Mark give Cecil what he fucking deserves is fucking, it's just so cathartic to see. Seeing Oliver develop into himself that I saw in the comics is also great to see. There's gonna be plenty of mistakes on many people's part, and I can't wait to see everyone develop into their own, character towards the end of the series, right? Towards like their final, like I guess like their final form, when the series ends. Eventually, like everybody will go ahead and towards the end of the series will be a better person, more or less, right? I don't know about specific people, but I'm not gonna spoil all that. But yeah, with all that said, let me hear what you guys have to say about the first 3 episodes of season 3 of Invincible. We'd love to hear your thoughts and everything so far in the comments. Like in the comments, of course. Remember, if you guys have anything you want me to look into and review, let me know in the comments below as well. Like from anime, shows, movies, comics, whatever. Like, as long as it's interesting and you guys think it would be cool to, I can't speak. It would be cool for me to look at and say my piece on it. Cool. I'm fine with it. Just let me know. I'll look into it and maybe I'll make a video out of it. Who knows? But yeah, that's it for me yapping about Invincible and its season 3. It's great. That's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the support. Be safe, healthy, mentally, emotionally, and physically. See you guys next time. Peace.